Obviously a tough game out there today, but we saw you line up all over the field, flexed out as a wing quarterback. Talk about your role with this team and kind of how that's developed over the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think every week's a little bit different. You kind of look at the game plan and see where you're going to be. But I've had a lot of fun. I've done a lot of unique things, and it's whatever you can do to help the team win football games, and that's what it's all about, and it's been fun.
So we've talked about a lot about this, you and I, how you've had to transition back and forth between the quarterback room and the tight room. Talk about that's pretty unique. Most guys have just one specific room, but you're kind of bounced all over the place. Talk about your preparation throughout the week and getting ready for a game and kind of what that looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I have to become very hyper-focused on what they're asking me to do. So it's hard for me to, fully dive into what the quarterbacks are doing, what the tight ends are doing, because of how unique my role is. So I've become very hyper-focused on where I'm going to be, what I'm going to be asked to do. And it's one of those things that I've just learned to deal. I figured out a process that works for me. And, you still kind of make it work when you get hit in the hand or something, and then coach calls something down the field for you in the middle of the game. But, we've been able to make it work.
So we saw you chatting with Fred Warner before the game. You guys played 3 seasons together at BYU. Talk about that relationship and kind of how it played out throughout the game.
I mean, I've got a lot of respect for Fred. You go back to college and playing Fred every day in practice. He was a great football player, and so I'm not surprised to see all the success that he's had in the NFL. And he's a guy that just gets better and better every year. And, man, it's hard to think of somebody that's playing better than him right now at that position.
So BYU last night just played their last regular season game of independence. You were the quarterback during independence period. What's your fondest memory of being at BYU and the whole being a quarterback during independence?
Yeah, I mean, I think it created a lot of really unique experiences going to different venues and playing different teams that you wouldn't normally have. And, obviously playing universities like University of Texas and, other big-time schools throughout the country are really ones that come to mind. And, I look back at it with a lot of fond memories, but, man, I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, so speaking of future, BYU now headed into the Big 12. As an alumni now, what are your thoughts of BYU next year heading into the Big 12, playing with the P5 conference?
I mean, I'm fired up. I think there's obviously rivalries that go around amongst the locker room and stuff. And when you get in a conference like that, you're going to be playing teammates every single year. Makes it a lot of fun for what I'm doing now, but, man, it's a lot of fun, aside from all of that, just to see them get in a conference and have a chance to go win a conference championship and make a run for the Final Four.
All right, as a seasoned NFL vet yourself, what advice would you give to some of the BYU Cougars coming out, like Jaron Hall potentially? You've heard Puka Nacua, Blake Freeland, some of these other guys coming out. What's your advice to them as they kind of make the step to the next level?
I think the biggest thing is you got to find someone that's been doing it for a while. Find a mentor and someone that's willing to teach you the process to get ready for a football game, and do everything you can to learn from them. And I look back at my career, early in my career, Drew was really that guy for me, and the process that I used to get ready for a football game was everything that he taught me. And, man, that just accelerated my career in so many ways.
Last question. A few weeks ago, we played golf down in New Orleans, and you had to Venmo me after the round. Let's talk a little bit about what happened there and maybe just recap why you had to Venmo me.
Dave's getting too many strokes, and it's slowly going down.
That's a false statement, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Taysom.
All good. Thanks, guys.